I've got a cup of coffee today. Look at that. Oh, lovely, lovely, jubbly, lovely. Ah, it's got a nice armchair. Look at that. Beautiful, isn't it? I got one too. I've got one too. Philippine travel. That's what I'm talking about today. So there was an announcement about 4 or 5 weeks ago. The IATF in the Philippines was replacing the health card with an eTravel pass. Now they've been doing this for about 6 months for international travellers into the Philippines, but as of the 1st of April, and they've been advising people that it's going to come as of the 15th of April. They will do a pilot scheme. As of the 15th of May, it will be the standard way of getting into and out of the Philippines for international travellers. It's not for domestic, it's only for international travellers. So whether you're on a boat, whether you're on a plane, whether you're on a submarine, whether you're whatever travel you're going to be doing outside of the Philippines, that's international. You will have to turn around and complete a eTravel, e-pass. Yeah, it's online. You just put in e-pass, it comes up. You open up the web page, and it come down, it turns around. It's got 2 boxes: foreigners and Philippine. Now, the first thing is you'll notice is that foreigners have to complete the e-pass or e-travel coming in and going out. That never used to be the case. You used to get this little card on the plane, and the Filipinos or Filipinas used to have to complete that on the plane, and when you got to the airport you handed it in. Now when I arrived in Manila back in November, they gave me the card and I completed it, and I came up to the customs, and customs turned around and just waved it away. They didn't, because I was a foreigner, they didn't want to look at that piece of paper, that arrivals form. Now foreigners will complete that. Now completing it, you can do that 72 hours prior to your flight. However, that's only 72 hours if you are able to turn around and give your flight details and your confirmation of your booking. If you haven't got the right paperwork, it'll ask you for your name, it'll ask you for your passport, it'll ask you for your vax cert stuff and any health stuff you've got. It'll ask you for your visa, but if you don't have your flight boarding stuff, it won't allow you to complete it. But you can only do your boarding online check-in 48 hours beforehand. So I'm suggesting 48 hours before you fly, complete your online check-in, how many bags, what you're doing, destination, what your flight number is, what your flight time is, and then off you go. What there isn't, what I've noticed, is that there isn't any help at the airport. Now, when I flew into Manila, I completed the eTravel pass back in the UK, saying that I was coming into Manila. The flight I was on, which was an Emirates 72, and when I landed, I was a day late because the plane that was connecting me in Dubai had already left. There was a mix-up on my booking paperwork flight was on the system, and I checked in. But when I landed at 12:30, 1 o'clock or something. But the plane took off at 12 o'clock. So the plane was already in the air when I landed at Dubai. So I had to wait another 16 hours at Dubai to turn around and get my plane. But when I landed at Manila, my e-ticket, they were okay with that. They just turned around and they looked at it, they saw the paperwork, even though I was late and my information on my e-ticket, on my e-pass, said I should have been here the day before. I just looked at it, stamped it and got in. But now it's going to be for foreigners and Filipinos into and out of the Philippines. So that means Davao, ports, Cebu, ports, Manila, ports, okay? But it's also going to be for incoming and outgoing international travel, which has never happened before. It's also foreigners are going to have to complete it, which is a new thing. Okay, so if you're coming here in June, you'll need to fill out an e-pass or eTravel. It's free. It doesn't cost a penny. It's just going through, ticking the boxes, putting in your information, putting in your details, putting in your flight, putting in where you're coming from if you're doing a transit flight, what your airline is and stuff like that. So that's happening now. There's a few people on board online turning around, or on YouTube turning around and saying that there should be an information centre at the airport, so people can actually go to the information centre. If you're like me or you're older than me and you don't understand how to do it, what you need to turn around and do is you need to get family or friends to help you with your online ticket. And if you've booked your ticket through a ticket office, get them to go on and register your eTravel and do it that way. But as I said, it's free. Everybody's got to do it now, in or out, for international travellers. It's a bit like, it's a bit like the American visa and a bit like the UK visa or European visa or the Schengen visa. You have to register everything when you're travelling. eTravel pass needs to be completed before you fly into and out of the Philippines. Done. T2, all domestic flights now come into T2. So if you're flying into Philippines as of 1st of April, you will come in on international flights either at T3 or T1. So check out how you get around, but I would say get your baggage, get onto the electric bus, get down to T2 and then catch your flight from T2 if you're on internal and you're on domestic flight. Now, talking about aeroplanes and flights, Davao City has a new flight on a Saturday with Qatar Airways. Flies from Qatar to Doha, and Doha have got 11 or 10 new destinations in Doha, flying out of Doha or picking up that connection. So you leave Davao, you arrive in Qatar, and then so you've got Birmingham in the UK, you've got Manchester in the UK, you've got Frankfurt in Europe, you've got 10 new destinations picking up that Qatar Airways Davao to Doha on a Saturday. However, and there is always a however, isn't there? Your return flight is not direct into Davao. Your return flight will be into Cebu. You have a 1 hour layover in Cebu before you pick up the flight to fly in on the Friday for that flight to depart on Saturday to Doha direct from Davao. So it's direct out, indirect in. You've still got Singapore Airways flying out of Davao with Silk Air and what's it called? I can't remember the name of it. It's another one now. It flies into Singapore, and you pick up your Singaporean flight out to wherever you're going. I've looked at all these different flights. I did that last year, and people would turn around and say, oh, you can fly from here to here to here to here. And I'm glad I didn't turn around and pick up extra flights, destinations, because my flight back to the Philippines with Emirates was just a mess when I got into Dubai. They looked after me, don't get me wrong, but the older you get when you travel, you just want to get from A to B. You don't want to be A to B, and you end up in this waiting room for heaven. You feel like you're waiting to die. Yeah, it's just, you're tired, you're irritable, you're grumpy, you're an old fart. Yeah, and we get like that. Yeah, our hormone levels go down. We can start wandering around. We don't have the energy and the patience that we used to. You just want to get from here to here, get here, relax, chill out. You know you've got to where you're going. But anyway, so one of those crazy things, a little thing called love. Queen, yeah. So anyway, like, share, subscribe. If there's anything you would like me to turn around and have a look at and see what's going on in Davao, give me a shout, and I'll see what we can turn around and do. Take care.